everybody, I'm Liz. This is French Toast and Books, and today I'm here to talk about the 10 book series that I want to finish in 2021. I've already completed one of these, so I'm off to a great start. Without any further ado, let's get started. The first book series I wanted to finish in 2021 was the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. And as y'all know, I started reading War Storm in December, and I finished it. So the series is now complete. Yay! The second book series I wanted to finish in 2021, which I'm already currently working on, is the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. I am currently reading Finale, and I am just over halfway, so I think I will finish this soon. Hopefully today, if not early this week. Next are series that I have definitely not progressed in at all this year. Some I read back in 2019, others 2020 last year, and I just want to keep the ball rolling. The third book series is Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. I read this book last year and I struggled a little bit with the first half of this book, but the second half of the book I came out strong. The next two books in the series are already out, and so I want to progress and continue this series this year. Will I finish this series? I'm not sure, but I am going to try. The next book in the series is called Soul of the Sword, and the third book is Night of the Dragon. So look out this year. Hopefully I will start Soul of the Sword and see how far I get in this series. The fourth book series is The Nixia Triad by Scott Rankin. I read this first book 2 years ago, and then I followed up with the sequel last year. I am still really interested and intrigued in the series, and I really want to see what happens and everything going on, so I plan on picking up the third and last book called Nixia Uprising this year. The fifth is the Shades of Magic series by B.E. Schwab. I read A Darker Shade of Magic, I believe, 2 years ago, and then last year I read the sequel, A Gathering of Shadows, and I'm very mixed in my feelings of the series, but I do really want to read the conclusion, which is A Conjuring of Light. I really hope to read this and finish it. It is chunky, so I'm sure it'll take me a while, but I am here for it. I really want to see what happens with all of these characters, and I just need to get on it. The sixth book series is The Blood of Stars by Elizabeth Lim. I read Spin the Dawn, the first book in the series, early on last year, and I loved it. Absolutely give 5 stars. I was so enthralled by the magic system and everything in the book series that I immediately picked up the sequel as soon as it released last year, which is Unravel the Dusk, but I didn't actually end up getting to it. I tried several times. It just didn't work out for me because of my slumpy reading year last year, but I really do hope to get to it this year, and I really can't wait. The seventh book series is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I started this book, I believe, 3 years ago, and I really enjoyed the first book. I read the second book back in 2019, which is Hunting Prince Dracula, and I didn't like it nearly as much, so I kind of held off on continuing on with the series last year, especially because I was really slumpy. But I really do want to read the next books in the series, which is Escaping from Houdini and Capturing the Devil. I don't know, again, if I'll finish this series this year, but I really hope to. I plan to. I really want to get back into this lovely world and just the mind of Audrey Rose, and so I'm pretty excited. I just need to gear up to read it and really just kind of put my issues with Hunting Prince Dracula aside so that I can just grasp the characters and this new spin as Audrey Rose goes to America. So we'll find out. I hope I like it a lot more than the second book. we'll see. The 8th book series that I want to finish, or at least catch up on, is The Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Ngan. This book series, I loved it, absolutely loved it when I read it in 2019. I purchased the sequel right immediately afterwards. That's Girl of Storm and Shadow. I obviously didn't get to it because 2020 was just chaos. So I really hope to catch up, especially because the 3rd book in the series, Girls of Fate and Fury, is set to release this year in November. So hopefully I can catch up and really just love the story again, because I remember really loving it and loving the characters and the fantasy and aspects of government, everything in this book series. So I just really need to just get into it. The 9th book series that I want to finish this year is Arc of a Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Now, I read this book in 2019. I binge read it, even though I struggle a lot with aspects of death, because death scares me. I've obviously come through lots of leaps and bounds since then because of everything that has been going on in my life. So I do want to jump back into this series. I think that I am mentally ready to jump back in this series. And I have the sequel already. I've had the sequel, Thunderhead, on my shelf since I finished Scythe, because I had anticipated reading it. Obviously it didn't happen. I feel like I could read it very fast because I did read Scythe very quickly in the matter of just a couple days. And so I need to get this so then I can read The Toll and just be able to rave about the series like everybody else that I know does. The 10th and last book series that I want to finish is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I read The Handmaid's Tale at the start of 2020, and I do really enjoy the book and the source material, even though I have to say I am one of those people who prefer the Hulu TV series of The Handmaid's Tale compared to this book. But that's because I believe it just explores the whole world and the concept so much more. And obviously it goes well beyond the book. So I really want to read the sequel, which is The Testaments. Came out last year, and I need to get my hands on it. My mom has given me the gift of her Kindle password, so I have The Testaments. I just need to read it. Alright, so there we have it. There we have 10 book series that I want to finish in 2021. I know there's so many more series that I want to read and get into. Making my list was a bit of a chore because I have a lot of book series I've started, particularly since starting BookTube, that I haven't finished yet, that I've kind of put on the back burner, and I know I'll get to them eventually. I still plan on getting to them eventually, but these are the top 10 book series that I want to catch up on or finish, depending upon where they're at in publication, and I hope I can make this happen this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. In the comment section below, tell me what book series you want to finish this year or catch up on. What is your most anticipated series to read this year? Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, I love you guys, and until next time, bye!